In this video, I'm going to show you SRM working with EMC Isilon SRA, Storage Replication Adapter. I will go through a full failover and failback. To start, Site A is the protected site and Site B is the recovery site. And in the UI, the left vCenter will be Site A and the right vCenter will be Site B. And the same thing for the tabs in Chrome. The left tab will be Site A cluster and the right tab will be Site B cluster. Let's first look at the VMware configuration. Here we'll look at Site A's data store configuration. SRA Demo 1 is our NFS data store connecting to the Isilon cluster at Site A. And here we'll do the same thing for Site B. And that is placeholder DS target. Let's look at the Isilon cluster at Site A. We have a policy there doing replication. It is called SRA Demo 1. We can look at the properties of that. Currently this is set to manual, but normally that would be a scheduled policy. And if we look at the cluster at Site B, we can look at the local targets to see that that is in fact a target for that replication policy from Site A. Now let's look at the site recovery configuration. We have our local and our remote sites. If we look at the array manager, we can see that the local array is the Skal star and the remote one is SC cluster 7. And if we look at the devices, we'll see the local device as the full NFS ID and path. And the remote device is the NFS ID for the data store and path at the target cluster, Site B. And if we look at the reverse, we'll see the reverse. Here is our protection group. It has 3 VMs in it. And our recovery plan is called Demo-RP1, which has the protection group's virtual machines. And here we see the recovery steps. And we should see the same thing if we go into the site recovery on Site B. So let's go ahead and execute a recovery over from Site A to Site B. We're going to do this as if there was an actual disaster. And that's going to execute. Now what's actually going to happen is a sync policy is going to run from Site A to Site B. Then the virtual machines will be shut down and one last replication policy will be run. And then the target cluster will be set to read-write and the VMs will be powered on at Site B. So the replication job is finished. The VMs are being shut down on the protected site, which is Site A, which we can validate. And sure enough, those 3 VMs are powered off now. Now another replication is going to happen as soon as Site B is prepared. And there's our second replication job. And now the VMs are going to be powered up. And if we look at Site B and look at the local targets and find our policy, look at the details, we'll see that that is now set to writes enabled. VMs are being powered on. You can check their status on site B. They are in fact powered on, and in the middle booting up. Now we just need to wait for the VMs to finish powering on. And our recovery is complete. Now the site B is not currently protected, so we can do that by clicking on reprotect. What reprotect will do is disable the original replication policy from site A to site B and create a mirror policy to replicate from site B to site A, thereby protecting site B. So if we go to site B and check the policies that exist, you should see a mirror policy. SRA Demo 1 Mirror is enabled and has run recently. And if we look at the policies on site A, we will see that SRA Demo 1 is now disabled. Now, let's do a failback. And we do that simply again by doing recovery, but now we're recovering in the other direction. But this is a planned migration because site A came back online and we're migrating back. And here we can see the policies running. And I'm going to time accelerate a little bit here. We can see that the policies have run. And here, if we look at the local targets, we should see that our mirror policy is now write enabled. And sure enough, writes are enabled. Now we're just waiting for the VMs to power on at site A. And they are powered on. You can check their status. And we're still booting up. That's powered on. And now we're just waiting for the rest of the VMs to power on. And we can see the stubs are left behind for the next failover. And if we go down to reports on the site B cluster, we can see 2 recent replications. And the VMs are now powered on. Now site A is not protected, so we need to click on reprotect. And again, this is going to do the reverse. It's going to disable that mirror policy that was created at site B, and it's going to enable the original policy that was replicating from site A to site B. So we can see now that the mirror policy is disabled. And if we go to the policies on site A, we can see SRA Demo 1 policy is now enabled again. and we can see that it has recently been run. That is the whole demo of the EMC Isilon SRA integration with VMware SRM. Thank you for your time.